Today's Easter Bunny was one of the most familiar voices on the radio and the co-founder of the American Top 40 franchise.
I never dreamed I'd get to be Chief Easter Bunny.
Peter, you're telling a fib. Every time you tell a fib, your left ear droops.
Oh, well, I guess I did think about the job once or twice. Lots of times.
Born in Detroit, Michigan in 1932, Kamal Amin Kasem was the child of Lebanese immigrants Helen and Amin Kasem. He became fascinated with radio at an early age, and his first job was covering Northwestern High School sports for the radio. While attending Wayne State University, young Casey Kasem got work at the local radio station playing children on radio dramas, including The Lone Ranger. He was drafted into the Army and worked as a DJ for Armed Forces Radio Korea Network, and after the war returned to the U.S. and continued his radio career, rising through the ranks in Michigan and heading to Buffalo, New York, before finally heading out to Oakland, California. He worked as both a music director and a DJ while also picking up more acting work in radio dramas and in low-budget movies. It was while he was hosting a local television dance show that he was noticed by Dick Clark, who hired him for a weekly music program called Shebang. Kasem went on to have a minor hit single with the spoken word track Letter from Elena before launching American Top 40 as a syndicated radio show in 1970. The show would go on to become a major fixture on the radio, making Casey Kasem one of the most recognized voices in American media for decades. Kasem's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was granted in 1981, and he was inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame in 1992.
Washington always had green eggs. Why, they were traditional at Mount Vernon when he chopped down the lime tree. Remember?
Washington couldn't tell a fib. I can't say the same for Georgie bunnies.
Wouldn't you know it, we have yet another Rankin Bass attempt at catching their Christmas lightning in a bottle for Easter. This time around, their source material was the 1957 book, The Easter Bunny That Overslept. The special was animated in the stop-motion style that had made the studio famous, and was directed by Jules Bass and Arthur Rankin Jr. themselves. The script was written by Romeo Muller, the Bronx native who was a frequent collaborator with Rankin Bass, having written the screenplays for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. In fact, Muller had been with Rankin and Bass from the very beginning, writing the screenplay for their first ever network special, Return to Oz. Here Comes Peter Cottontail originally aired on ABC in 1971, and in addition to Kasem in the lead role, it also features Danny Kaye as the narrator and Vincent Price as the evil rabbit January Q Irontail. Hold up, what?
I propose a contest to see who can deliver the most eggs.
That's absolutely out of the question.
Wait a minute, Colonel. I'm not afraid of Irontail. I know I can lick him any day.
Peter, this is no time for bragging.
No, I insist, Colonel. A contest is the fair way of deciding who's best.
Some voice actors completely disappear into a role, generating completely new personalities every time they change characters. And other voice actors have one voice that adapts well to every character that they play. Casey Kasem's Peter Cottontail sounds like Casey Kasem, who also sounds like Shaggy Rogers from the Scooby-Doo cartoons because, wouldn't you know it, Casey Kasem originated that role too. And the voice works. Peter is instantly likable and pleasant, with just enough of an edge to communicate the scamp that he is. He would be a perfect Easter Bunny in general, except that his villain is voiced by yet another of the unique one-voice actors who always delivered Vincent freakin' Price. The St. Louis, Missouri native and son of an American candy magnate, proud alumnus of Yale and the Courtauld Institute of Art, and one of the finest raconteurs of Hollywood's long and storied history, is known for instantly raising the class level of everything he appeared in. And when he's voicing the delightfully evil January Q Irontail, it just kind of illustrates the failings of Peter Cottontail. I mean, sure, January Q Irontail is an evil bunny who sabotages Peter's alarm clock to gain an unfair advantage, and who wants to use his power to turn Easter into a day off for the bunnies, thanks to a long-standing grudge against the child who cost him his tail. But Peter, upon failing to win the competition, attempts to exploit a loophole in the rules by delivering Easter eggs on every holiday, and not only that, he also breaks the laws of space and time, completely ignoring the dangers inherent in the grandfather paradox in a quest to restore his own control over the holiday. And in the process, he engages in multiple cons and swindles, unfairly representing his product and himself as belonging to the 4th of July, to Halloween, to every holiday in the year. I guess what I'm saying is that we stand the one true Easter Bunny, January Q Irontail, the rightful ruler of April Valley. All hail the Irontail! I'm calm. Kasem was more than just a voice on the radio. He was a strong, progressive voice working for various causes such as opposing defamation of Arab Americans, raising money for Jesse Jackson and Dennis Kucinich's campaigns, and fighting for affordable housing and the rights of the homeless. Casey Kasem even parted ways from one of his iconic roles in 1997, leaving behind the role of Shaggy Rogers in protest over a proposed Burger King commercial. Kasem, himself a dedicated vegetarian, had long insisted that the character of Shaggy should be a vegetarian as well. He patched things up and returned to the role in 2002, and endorsed fellow Michigan native Matthew Lillard to take over the role after Kasem retired from it in 2009. Thanks for tuning into the video. If you liked it, share it with a friend. Drop into the comments and let me know if you're Team Cottontail or Team Irontail. And while you're there, make sure to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, watch like it means something. These ears aren't a rental, they're privately owned.